I mean, someone had to do it. That's totally not true. No one has to do this. Why am I doing this? Okay, so if you've been on YouTube recently, you may have seen all of the commentary videos about this TikTok web series called Attaway General. It has been aptly coined the Kids Bop of Grey's Anatomy, which is pretty much all the information you need. Like, you know everything you need to know. Featuring TikTok stars such as Dixie D'Amelio and other ones that I don't know because I'm 25 and apparently that means I'm too old for TikTok. But if you do want to see more about Attaway General, you can watch any of the numerous commentary videos that have been made about it. I know Drew Gooden has one, Dylan Is in Trouble made one, Nick DeRamio made one, just all of the top tier white men. Go check that out. Today we're doing something a little different. Hi, by the way, I'm Jessie. Nice to meet you. I'm Jessie and I'm a screenwriter. And you know, as a writer, sometimes you just sit there and you watch something and you're like, I mean, I can do better than that. And so today I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is and I'm gonna rewrite Attaway General in just a second. Okay, so I just needed to grab my master's degree and I'm just gonna stick it over here where I can look at it and think about what I've done. So I just want to start by saying I'm not here to shit on the writer of Attaway General. I don't know them. I don't know anything about them. Actually, let's look up who it is. Let me just quickly go on the freaking IMDb page for Attaway General. You heard me correctly. Attaway General has an IMDb page. So I found that out the other day and I was irrationally angry that Dixie D'Amelio has an IMDb page and I don't have one. Okay, update, there's no writer credited for Attaway General, so I'm just have to assume that it just willed into existence one day. Nobody wrote it. It has no creator, just like the Harry Potter books. So I'm not even shitting on anyone because nobody wrote Attaway General. Basically, what I'm just trying to say is I'm not trying to make fun of anyone who enjoys this show or make fun of anyone who participated in the making of this show. I genuinely think that a lot of the base concepts are actually like a good idea. Like if you went into the CW and pitched a show that was the Kids Bop version of Grey's Anatomy, they would buy it in a second. I think it just came down to, you know, it got whittled down in the process of making it to be what it is today, and if it had a little more time and attention, it could have been good. Honestly, I genuinely think that. Today I'm going through the script that I would have written had I been commissioned to write Attaway General. Okay, so the intro to the actual Attaway General has us coming in hot. You know, our group of teens turn a corner, Nina spikes the camera and she goes straight into a monologue about what the volunteer program is. And honestly, I didn't hear any of it because I was too busy recovering from the whiplash that I got from just having them turn the corner and start talking directly into my soul. My introduction starts a little slower. We have Jack being dropped off at the hospital by his mom. And in the original, Jack, as a character, he is kind of dumb. I don't know if that was intentional or if that was an acting choice, but that's kind of how he comes off. And his backstory is that he's there because he got arrested and it beats juvie, which is commonly referred to as one of the dumber lines of the show, but it's not actually a bad concept. Like, I like that there are stakes to him being there, that if he doesn't do well in this program, that he's gonna get sent to juvie. But they don't really use that at all. They're just like, he's a bad boy, and this is why. Like, I think they could have used that character trait better. So I'm kind of toning it down because I don't know that a hospital would be that interested in having a volunteer who has been arrested and is doing this instead of juvie. I'm thinking maybe like detention or school suspension, but I'm kind of easing us into that. I'm gonna have him be a little more mysterious. So he gets out of the car and his mom just throws out a kind of, you know, mysterious line. Do good today, sweetie. No trouble, okay? Like, ooh, who is this guy? He gets into trouble a lot. What did he do? That's interesting. And I think it's a little more intriguing than what we got in the original. So I'm going to stick to that, and then slowly over the series you would learn about Jack's past and what he's done and how he got to where he is. And then we go into the waiting room and we meet Kit and Rosie. Now, Kit in the actual series is the very motivated one. She's there because she wants to be a doctor. That makes perfect sense to me. Like, yeah, if you're going to be a teen in a hospital volunteer program, you probably want to be in the medical field at some point. That makes perfect sense. The thing that gets me about her character is that the way that they show this about her is that they just have her rattle off medical facts at random, and it doesn't feel very genuine. It feels very manufactured. I'm kind of adjusting it so that we see it through her determination. She's asking a lot of questions. She wants to be in the action. Her fatal flaw, if you will, is that she wants to be a doctor for the prestige of it rather than like actually understanding what it means to help people, and that's what she's going to be learning in this episode. Her first line is, "Do you think if we wear these in public," meaning her volunteer uniform, "do you think if we wear these in public we'll get free stuff?" And I think that is emblematic of her character at the start of this. And then we meet Rosie, and I pretty much left her alone. Rosie's just a sweet little pumpkin, and she's doing her thing. I'm not messing with her. She's this, angelic figure that's always happy and always here to help, and I think the group needs that to keep them together. So we introduce these characters, and then Nina comes in, who is kind of their leader. I cut the other second year volunteer because there's too many characters to introduce in 10 pages, and she didn't add anything. So sorry girl, I don't even know what your name was, but so we just have Nina, and she comes in to give everyone their assignments, but wait, there's one more left. It's the D'Amelio herself, Georgia, and she comes in with her father, Dr. Henry, and he's delivering her to the program, and he's very excited that she wants to volunteer at his hospital, and she's a little embarrassed because he's proud out on the first day of school. But basically, Georgia comes in, gets dropped off by her father, and Nina gives everyone their assignments. So, we have Jack in pediatrics reading to kids. We have Georgia restocking things in the supply closet. And then we have Kit and Rosie in the waiting room just maintaining things in there. And when we get these assignments, Kit is not very happy. She wants to have her bare hands in someone's open chest on the first day of work, but that's not what's going to happen, and she's very grumpy about being stuck in the waiting room. So we move quickly over to pediatrics, where Jack tries to start reading to the kids, and chaos ensues. He can't get them to settle down, and he starts freaking out that he can't control these kids and do his job. And then we move over to the supply closet, where let's talk about Georgia. In the actual series, Georgia's character is very disinterested in her work. I didn't feel like that was a great character choice. Now, there's a lot to be said about the inherent sexism of likability in female characters. However, I do not think this case applies because Georgia's character not being likable has nothing to do with her gender, and it has everything to do with the fact that she's a hospital volunteer who doesn't want to be there. So I am adjusting her character a lot and basically switching her personality with her love interest, Will, and I'm giving him the I don't want to be here attitude, and she gets the I'm trying to do my best and trying to work hard attitude. And I think that gives us a better foundation to work with. You can connect with Georgia because she actually wants to do a good job, and then you have Will, who is an external force that is preventing her from doing that instead of her own stubbornness preventing her from doing her job. So Georgia comes into the supply closet and she meets Will, who has been napping in there, And I did replace the iconic moment of the spray bottle.
I don't think that's gonna hurt anyone.
Depends where I put it.
Because it wasn't vibing with me. I wasn't doing it. But I replaced it with her throwing a box of gloves at him, and then he says, "Easy, Batman," which has very Hang On Spider Monkey vibes, and that was intentional. And so Georgia and Will meet, a little back and forth. You can play it kind of flirty. Georgia's trying to get her job done, Will's standing in the way, and by the end of the scene, he distracts her and kind of gets her to blow off work. And then we go back to the waiting room where Kit is still very annoyed, and Rosie's trying to be positive because she's just, again, a sweet little pumpkin. And she's like, look, you can learn a lot from being in the waiting room. And then we have the bus crash come in. I kept that from the original, but we're changing it up a little bit. So Nurse Sandy comes in, and she sends Rosie away to go get some gauze from the supply closet. And Kit is left to maintain the waiting room, and she's really excited because she's like, oh, there's this bus crash coming in. There's going to be a lot of excitement. Like, what can I do? Like, can I bandage some people up? Can I, Pulp Fiction some people's hearts? Like, and Nurse Sandy's like, you can stay in the waiting room and help the people waiting. And she's like, man, I'm ready. Like, use me. Love interest of the season rolls in. His name is Holden. For the record, I hate that name. It's like, whose name is Holden? Like, come on. Holden Caulfield. Okay, you got me there, Attaway General. All right. The name is very, like, what a 16-year-old girl would want her fictional crush's name to be. Like, it's the same name energy as Levi. I didn't change it. I thought about changing it. And the reason is, at the end of the day, character names are hard, dude. Like, if you look at my web history, you'll be like, why did this woman visit 20 baby name websites in one day? And it's like, I'm not baby crazy. I'm just looking for a character name that isn't Sam. I didn't feel like changing his name, and I'm just gonna live with the fact that I hate it. And as punishment, I basically wrote him out of the episode. So Holden comes in with his bus crash injuries, and we get a new character that was not in the original, his mom. And going back to the name thing, I didn't feel like coming up with a name. None of these characters have last names. I'm pretty sure even Dr. Henry. Like, I don't think Henry's intended to be his last name, but whatever. I get it. Names are hard. So she's Mrs. Smith. So Mrs. Smith wants to come in with her son, Holden, and the EMTs are like, man, we gotta wait in the waiting room. Kit, like, doesn't know what to do, and she starts making small talk with this woman, and they have a nice little conversation until Nurse Sandy comes back up and says, hey, Holden's in this room. Kit, why don't you escort her over there? Meanwhile, in the supply closet, Will and Georgia are slacking off until Rosie comes in and finds them looking for the gauze, and Georgia starts freaking out because she's like, oh my god, I didn't do my work, people are gonna die because there's no gauze. And Rosie's like, calm down, I'll come help you unpack all this stuff once I deliver the gauze. And then on her way to do that, she sees Jack freaking out over the kids. He has his little Jaws moment, and she's like, all right, everyone calm down. I'm going to solve your problems. Just give me 2 seconds to deliver this gauze. And then Kit escorts Holden's mom to his room, and she sees them unite or whatever. And Holden's mom, like, genuinely says, thank you for keeping me company and distracting me while I was waiting. It really means a lot. And Kit's like, wow, I really made a difference today. Nice. Lesson learned. And then we go back to the supply closet where Rosie has helped Georgia clean everything up, and they have a bunch of extra, like, packages and boxes and trash, basically, and they're like, oh, what are we gonna do with this? Idea. So they basically go take all of the trash, make it into costumes, and then they come in for the rescue with Jack and pediatrics, and they come in, and Rosie has these cardboard fairy wings on, and Georgia has like a little paper crown, and they give Jack like a bubble wrap cape, and Jack starts reading the kids a story, and they actually pay attention, and everyone comes in and they act out the story behind him. and it's really cute and sweet, and Will is standing in the corner watching them, and Georgia brings him in and gets him to participate, and Will, you know, has that look on his face that's like, maybe I can learn something from this chick, you know? And that's the end. What do you guys think? Do you like this better than the original Attaway General? Do you think it's kind of pointless because they can't act anyway, so it would end up being the same? Honestly, I think Attaway General would be 10 times better if they had a singular acting coach on set. So now I have an Attaway General spec, I guess. Why did I do this? Let me know if you liked it, I guess. And hire me. Thanks for watching. Bye.